people of YouTube.
Hello.
I am American McGee.
I'm Martin.
And we've got rabbit ears. What's going on here, Martin?
I don't know. I was only made aware of these last night.
Well, yeah, I was only made aware of them about a week ago. It turns out that these are all the rage on the Chinese internets. Apparently,
really?
Cute little Chinese girls like to do their video streaming stuff while wearing these.
I can see why.
Yeah, and so they're rabbit ears, but they've got funny little... I wrote a description on Mysterious.
You've given away the magic.
What do you mean?
You told them how it works.
Well, they're going to know. We're going to give them away today as prizes. They should know how they work. So they're these little fart-filled bubbles in the arms, in the paws. And you
Hang on,
press
can you
on
speak
those,
up?
And you press on those. What's going on? Oh. What did he say? Anyway, so these are going to be our prizes for today. Yeah, we have gone a bit mental around here with things related to rabbits, and this is just more of the same. You should expect lots and lots of silly rabbit business as we head towards the production of the actual White Rabbit collectible.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back.
Thanks. You too.
I was off in
you.
I was off in Thailand for a while there, and that's what this footage right here. Oops, not that. That's what this footage right here is of the marina where I keep my boat called Chaos. And I did not go sailing on this trip, but I did go work on the boat, and I did a bunch of sort of prep and travel and examination thinking related to Pirate Gem. So it was a very productive and happy trip.
Okay. Can you see your boat in that little footage?
Yeah, I think so. What did you do during the holidays there, Font Lord? I know you were...
Nothing.
There's my boat's under the blue cover at the bottom of the screen there. It's actually one of the smallest boats in the marina, but I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So what did you do during the Golden Week holiday?
I played Spider-Man and looked after Lulu.
Well, there you go.
That's it.
Thank you for looking after Lulu. She does need looking after when I travel.
I 100%ed Spider-Man. Got the platinum trophy.
Man, look at you. So yeah, we're back, and we have a ton of art to get through, and we're just going to jump right into it.
Let's go.
So this is an image that came through from Joey while we were away, and it shows the sort of final version of an image that you may have seen before in concept form or in sketch form. And this is Alice in a sort of mirror library puzzle room.
Definitely. I think obviously some Harry Potter vibes going on here.
Well, if you remember, in the first Alice, we had a library, and there were books flying around, as you see here.
All right.
So maybe Harry Potter stole that from us.
God damn, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, well. So this is Joey's concept for finding a path through the mirrors. And, of course, if you jump into the wrong mirror, it'll take you to somewhere else. Maybe not a good place.
Probably not.
Maybe a room filled with monsters.
Maybe.
But that's a pretty cool one, though.
I like that.
This is very reminiscent of the first game. The way the floors are... You don't remember the library and the puzzle involving the flying books?
Yeah, even though we just finished it. But then again, it took months to do that.
Look, even Zip Zane Zena in the comments says that sort of reminds me of the first Alice game running in the library. Yes. Okay. It's okay.
I'll believe it was there.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, that's pretty straightforward. And this, of course, is the original sketch that she had sent along to illustrate the idea of jumping through the mirrors.
Okay.
You know, our art is not in order. I don't know what's going to come up when I click these buttons. We'll see. This was brainstorming.
Brainstorm.
This was actually the cover for the YouTube live stream today, and it contains a lot of the doll part monsters that Joey's been working on. And I've seen some comments recently where people are saying, So I assume all of the monsters are going to be doll part monsters now. And I really have to tell myself not to respond with, don't assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. The thing is, this is just the phase we're in right now. This does not mean that all the monsters in the game are going to be these doll part monsters. She's just exploring on this theme at the moment. And actually, the question that she has here, what is a 13-year-old girl afraid of?
I think somebody had a comment of that in the suggestions and questions that we're doing later.
Was this the one related to men, like older men?
I think it might have been.
I saw that comment, and I thought that one was usable. I thought that it would make sense if perhaps some of the parts, some of the dolls, some of the things we're seeing here were sort of just grown men.
Right.
Adults sort of mishmashed together instead of dolls, or, it could be a mix of like adults, dolls, insects.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in her subconscious, that makes sense. That she would have a fear of things like the dolls, of course, of fire, of course, of the usual creepy crawlies. There is literally crawly. Check. She's
done bugs, spider, centipede.
She's checked them all off the box.
I like the one at the top, the one that has forks for legs.
Well,
it's kind of creepy.
He would fork you up.
Really would.
But this guy also would fork you up.
Yeah, that one's also a bit mental with the lopsided body.
He's all kind of forked up. So yeah, she's done a couple of things here. I thought that the baby head bat was especially wrong. I'm not a big fan of flying enemies, so...
Yes, I remember that.
But yeah, if you are over on Patreon, you can leave comments when this is posted up, and we can talk about what kind of enemies. We have another place where this type of stuff is going. That is the Wiki. What's going on with the Wiki these days, Martin?
Just getting updated. Slowly but surely, it's coming together.
But we've added some functionalities, and there's a sort of plan, right?
Yes, it's we have the new big header image, and yeah, it's hard to put your finger on any one thing, but Magus and the gang are putting it together.
I'm going to put my finger on one thing.
Are you?
Yeah, so see this? This is the discussion tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it so we post up a bit of design, a bit of art, and then you're going to be able to click on discussion. And when I say you, I mean you. You're going to be able to click on discussion, and you'll be able to go in there and put your notes in on what we're doing by way of an enemy, a weapon, a gameplay mechanic. And so the goal here is that we, all of us, and you, our viewer, will be able to contribute.
Okay, so you can specifically comment on the specific thing you want to.
Correct.
It's not just general chat.
Correct. And so this is all about crowd design. So like we saw, there was a person who commented that perhaps she's afraid of men. Well, that person would be able to go and make that comment on the page related to the enemies, and then we'll review it, and perhaps it'll end up in the game.
Perhaps.
So there you go. So here she's got some more doll bugs. I really like these.
Scorby.
Scorby-Doo. Battle. Crabby. Bantus. Now I think she's getting a little too creative. They're a little too on the nose. They were quite childlike and silly before, but now Bantus feels like something we would actually come up with.
Yeah, Bantus does seems a little different than the rest of the names.
These are all kinds of horrible. Now, what's funny is I see people on Instagram saying things like, "Oh, they're so cute. I want one."
I'm sure they would sell. They were
who in their right minds wants this and thinks that it's cute? I mean, I could see why you'd want one. I just don't know why you'd think it was cute, but there are people out there who think this is cute. So,
yep, they would sell like hotcakes, I'm sure, if we had the little models of these guys.
Yeah, I think so. So these have turned out pretty damn nice. I like them a lot, and she has sent along quite a few. One of the things we talked about with regards to enemies was that they'd be kind of mix and match, that parts could assemble. Yeah, we said you might go through an area and find that bits and pieces of dolls, insects, men, whatever frightens young Alice would be laying around, perhaps sort of discarded. But as you move through these areas, they would self-assemble.
Yes, I remember that. So
right.
That's a good idea.
And it might be that somehow there's a kind of nightmare that powers these things. And so you got to kill the crystal, kill the combiner, whatever it is that sits at the center of these things.
Pulling them together.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Super chats. The first super chat of our return goes to Ray Weatherford. Thank you very much, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Just saying hello and welcome back.
Well, thank you for that, Ray. We appreciate the Lulu treat super chat and the welcome back. Yes. We also have a bunch of people in the chat who've got these sponsor S's.
Nerdiest Girl, Taylor Gowen, Virgil Hiltz.
That's
what is that? That's the sponsor.
Yeah, we still need to
icon.
We've got to set things up for them because I think we're going to be able to give them. I don't know.
Talk to Jennifer about that.
Something.
She's in the chat. I've seen her. She's here. She's around.
So yeah, this is continuing on the idea that there's a combination of parts that results in varieties of monsters coming after you. So that means that, a particular head could stick onto a certain body, and then the arms and legs, all of them would come together and form these horrible baddies. I quite like this because I think it means that we're going to see potentially more variation in the movement and fighting kind of style of the enemies. And I said before, I think it'd be fun to see an enemy that puts itself together poorly.
Right. And so a shonky enemy.
Yeah. And then there's a kind of bit of humor wrapped up in its movement.
Okay. Blade Siskodoll also super chatting us just to say they missed us.
Very
how's
sweet.
Lulu?
Lulu's doing well. She's
great.
She's conked out over in the other room, but she's doing all right. Yeah.
She's used to being back now.
She
kind of weirds her out a bit when she has to move homes.
She wasn't particularly happy about it. It's unfortunate because she actually likes going for rides in cars. And so she's kind of torn, like, yay, I get to go in a car. But then once she realizes it's taking her somewhere and not bringing her back, she's not very happy about it.
Are these the names? This one is called Surprise.
Yeah. Every time I looked at that, it reminded me of that sort of surprise, motherfucker, that meme. So I was just imagining this baby every time it just pops out from somewhere. It's like, surprise, I'm gonna fork you up.
Does it say it like that? Is it going to have like a Samuel L. Jackson voice?
I think that it should.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a good example of something that's put itself together in a sort of retarded way.
Can't say that.
Whatever. And I imagine that, as you said, it would move around in a sort of shonky way.
Yeah. It's a simple one, just having the body at an angle and having the limbs in the wrong holes, but it's quite effective to make it look creepy. Well done, Joey.
Yeah, it's fun. Interesting.
Oh, another super chat from Prince Hatter. Thank you for that. Again, just welcoming us back and also saying they got their Chaos coin. It looks great.
Wow.
Lots of people saying the coin looks great.
I have seen lots of posts. People are sharing their Chaos coins on Instagram and Facebook, and they're doing little photo shoots with them, and they look fantastic.
So yeah, the coins are on the way. If you've not got yours yet, it should be soon if you were expecting one. So hold on a bit tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Alice on Elm Street also super chats to welcome us back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice.
Yeah.
One of our more active contributors to the crowd design. So, Grandma's teeth.
Jennifer here making the point, saying, wouldn't they be wooden?
Yeah, I think that, this sort of fine screws and this, they would probably be wooden. So, wouldn't they?
Has Joey mis-eared something again?
Well, it happens.
Right.
So, yeah, Joey, these are probably a little too advanced for the Victorian era. But, we should look that up. Because I'm sure that's not a horrible thing to look at online.
Victorian false teeth.
I imagine that there are horrible things out there in that era.
Josie also super chat says with £5.
Woo.
Thank you for that. Saying you look rested. Maybe, do I look rested? I don't feel rested.
I don't feel rested. I feel a little tired. So Victorian false teeth are actually pretty damn detailed, in fact. I mean, look at those. That's awful.
Not quite wooden. A little more advanced, but perhaps not with the old red gums.
So I think one of the things is that people were making false teeth out of like whalebone and stuff like that. Ooh. So they probably would have been kind of, all right, Jennifer, you got that one wrong.
Half wrong.
But those are Victorian false teeth. They're a bit more advanced than I think I had expected.
Yeah. We're going to get Joey to re-wangle that image.
I think she could. And I think actually, this is pretty interesting. It'd be interesting to look this up and to see. This is obviously gold and gilded and quite nice. This looks more awful.
It does.
Yeah. So maybe she could do something as a variation on this.
I think. Some super chats just rolled in. One from Brittany Mans saying their Chaos coin arrived while they were drawing the Cheshire Cat. Very apt.
Well, thank you for the super chat, Lacey, and glad to hear that
That was Brittany.
Oh, sorry, Brittany.
That one scrolled past.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, another coin arrived successfully.
That's good.
Yeah. Lacey, super chats. Thank you very much. Been a while since I caught a stream or looked at the Patreon. Excited to see the new art. Keep up the good work. We will.
We shall. Thank you.
Jia yo, as they say in China.
Jia yo. Do you know what that means?
Add oil.
It does. It means add oil. So when you want to tell people to go for it, you got to say add oil.
Don't understand that.
Imagine if you wanted to say step on the gas. Oil in Chinese is synonymous with gas.
Okay.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
K is back with their currency of the future, the SEC from space. Oh my. My brain woke me up in the middle night. Come on, it's stream time, dumbass. And my post office is holding my coin as a prisoner.
Oh no.
I'm sure you could break the coin out from that prison quite easily.
Yeah, so far I've not heard anyone make mention of the coins being caught by customs or otherwise impounded, so that's a first.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that they don't get deliveries at their particular location, so they have to go to the post office.
Ah, I see.
But yeah.
Well, thank you, Nira, for the sec. Back to Grandma's teeth. So we now know, Joey, that this is okay. Though I think there's a little bit of detail in here that, I don't know, maybe these kind of hingy bits in metal. But anyway, let's see where that goes. Another guy who's out to forking run. I bet he can run forking fast.
I'm sure he can.
Run, Forky, run! So yeah, she's written up a story here about wounded twins, and I seem to recall from her email that these guys were perhaps inspired by someone that she'd seen in the asylum. Some busted twins.
In what asylum did she see that?
In the asylum Alice is in. She's in an asylum. Alice.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sounded for a minute there like she'd actually gone to an asylum and seen someone like that.
No, Alice is in an asylum.
Oh.
So these are not Joey.
But Joey was inspired to draw this by somebody she had seen in an asylum.
Are you on drugs
Maybe.
again? Okay. Everybody, Martin's on drugs. Right, so here is that same wounded twin going ka-ka on his forking legs. I love Joey's sound effects.
They're great.
So she's got some ideas here that he's able to rotate around rapidly, sort of ballerina style. And so he bounces off any attacks.
Picking attack will cause large damage. Dodge in advance.
You better dodge in advance. You're going to get...
I like that one that you're hovering over now.
It's pretty cool.
It is. So like stab you with my feet.
So maybe this is part of sort of the sequel to Edward Scissorhands. This is the child that Edward went on to have. This is Bobby Forklegs. Exactly. So she's also done... I love, yeah, and then I feel bad.
I feel bad.
Well, you do when you get squirted with scorpion goo, scorby goo,
Scorby goo.
Scorby goo. That sounds like it could be
goo.
Yeah, where are you? Oh no, I feel bad. So scorby goo apparently makes people feel bad.
That should be the name now, not just Scorby, but Scorby Goo. Right.
No. So apparently Scorby appears together with other bug babies and doesn't attack directly, but when you're not aware of it, you get a poison shower, which will slow you down and leave you vulnerable to the other babies. So you want to kill the Scorby first. Good strategy.
It is. Yeah, otherwise the beetle one will come and chop your head off.
Looks like that, yeah. So I'm enjoying this though. There's a bunch of ka, ya, and ha stuff going on, and she's getting gooed on by a Scorby.
Dynamic sounding game with all these effects.
It'd be really funny if we kept all that in there. Maybe we should have like a Joey alternative soundtrack. Like you can flip a switch and it'll go into ka, ha, ya mode.
I hope
wah,
so.
and ka-cha.
Wah. Surprise! Wrong play.
Surprise, motherfucker! I'm gonna fork you up.
Joey's stuff makes me laugh so much in a good way. I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing with her.
Just fucking fantastic.
I love it.
It's good. Look, she's got little chef hats coming out of her feet. I love it. Ka-wa, surprise! Joey. It's great. There really should be like just an alternate version like soundtrack, and having these, we mentioned this before, having these little sounds in words coming off of things in the game could be a thing.
It should be an unlockable Joey mode.
Maybe it just needs to be a thing, like that when you see an enemy in the game, when a bat flaps its wings, we should see flap, flap, flap coming off.
Maybe.
I mean, this is in the imagination of this little girl.
Would it get annoying after the initial interest has worn off? I don't know.
We'd have to kind of check and see, but this again. Here's this sort of little icons that she's done. Now, this is obviously to indicate that Alice has died. I don't think it would get annoying. I think we should try.
Definitely worth investigating.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we could turn on as a mode. In development, we could have this, we could try it out, and perhaps it would work. It's not going to be expensive or difficult to just test it.
No.
Yeah.
Wiki people, I hope you're listening. Put that in there.
Yeah, I mean, throw your comments in. Let us know if you think that having visual representations of things like death or even the sound effects like flap, flap, I actually think it's a thing.
I think so.
And I know how this would work technologically. It's a 2D plane that's always facing towards the camera, and so no matter which direction, that object was moving or facing, the visualization of the sounds would always face towards the player. We don't have to overdo it. It could just be, say, for instance, when one of these things first takes off, you see it briefly, flap, flap, and that's it. It's just a particle effect.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other games that did that.
No.
Perhaps
there's gotta be, because
Beautiful Joe might have done it. I can't remember.
It's not like, it's unheard of. It's basically comic book style, biff, pow, bam, right? There's got to be games out there that have done that. I'm glad that she went to the effort to draw.
Get closer.
Draw a little. Is that close enough for you, Martin? Why? Thank you for being anatomically correct.
She is so thorough.
She really is. It's fantastic. We're gonna have to
get Joey on the stream sometime.
We will, but she's up in Tianjin, and so basically, what I think we should do is have Joey come here.
Right.
Just have her come down from roughly Beijing and have her visit us here.
We should.
Do you know what the place is where she is? What it's famous for?
Crazy sound effects.
No, it's actually it's actually famous for, if you go look this up and go watch the video. So where she is called Tianjin. And,
let's quickly do these.
Oh boy.
Scroll up a bit. Lucas Severin super chats. Thank you very much. I imagine him going, "I'll fork you up with my Slayer Rena style." It's great to be back. I got rejected by the Air Force.
Oh no.
How are you guys? That's poop. Can you try again? Try again?
Depends on what he was rejected for. Yeah.
That's poop.
But welcome back, Lucas, and thank you for the super chat. And hey, one door closes, another door opens. So.
Yeah. Truth Decay, super chatting. Thank you very much. Sorry, American, have to disagree. It's cute, endearing, humorous in the concept art, but I personally don't think this goofy comic book style emoting of actions would jive with the more sinister and dark tone planned for Asylum.
Okay.
Optional.
It's
options.
It's a thought.
It's a good idea not to force something upon them, but...
well, we're brainstorming.
We are.
So thank you, Truth Decay, for the honest or the disagreement. You don't have to apologize for that. And it's just an idea. We're having fun.
Alice on Elm Street is back. Thank you for that. We've mentioned side games before, like a Zen mode. Maybe there could be a Joey side game with all the sound effects and icons.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we do something fun like that.
But P.S. Truth Decay. Don't hate Truth Decay.
Why?
Because of the criticism.
Oh, I see. Yeah, actually, I think as long as it's a well-voiced, a sort of thought-out criticism, we don't have a problem with that. It's just when people write things like, "I hate this."
Yeah, if people just say it's a shit idea, it's not great criticism.
Yeah.
But if it's well thought out and pleasantly explained, go for it.
It could also be in a particular area where it makes sense. So maybe it is in a zone where sort of things in the books have come to life, and so it makes sense that the words have come off the page, something like that. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
All right.
All right.
Back to the Tianjin explosion.
Well, yeah. So Tianjin, which is where Joey is famous for this massive explosion. And
I have a video of that at home, and it's, at least I think it was the Tianjin one. It on my video it explodes like 3 times.
Yes.
You see the first explosion and you think, wow, and then it happens again and you think, Jesus Christ, it can't get any bigger than that.
And then it does.
And then it does.
Yeah, apparently it was equivalent to a nuclear bomb.
It was that big.
It was that big. And what it was a industrial storage warehouse where they had put things together which shall not be put together.
Yes,
and
they were storing stuff.
They were storing stuff wrongly. And obviously this was a big, because there's a bunch of car manufacturing up there. So obviously a bunch of these cars got melted to the effing ground. And, this was all, because it's a big shipping port. There's a lot of stuff that gets manufactured and then shipped out of Tianjin to the rest of the world or the rest of China. And so all of the goods that were sat around ready to ship out blew up.
Can we see the video?
We can. I was just a little bit worried that it might cause
short one.
Internet. Which one? This one?
1 minute 31.
That one.
Yeah, give it a try.
All right, we're gonna see what happens here. If it blows up, literally, people cursing. Fuck! I'll curse for them.
This is the video I think I have. So you think, oh, that's pretty big.
F.
And then you think, it can't possibly have got any bigger than that.
And then, what happens? No. I'm pretty sure he said no fucking way. There's a lot of cursing going on in this video.
No!
Are we dangerous here?
Oh my god! Oh dear! Are you filming?
They're freaking the fuck out.
I would.
I would.
Go on. Third
There,
one.
that's the final explosion. Yeah. So apparently, this leveled buildings, I don't know, within 5 kilometers, it blew out the windows and it burned everything to the ground. It was basically like a nuclear bomb had gone off.
Pretty crazy.
Anyway, that's where Joey lives.
Hopefully, nothing like that will happen again. They've learned their lesson.
Well, the guy that was responsible for that he's dead. They executed him.
So he wasn't around at the time.
No, but the government executed him.
Right.
Which is what they do here when you do stupid shit in China that results in death and destruction, is they execute you. So he was cod or fopped, or he was otherwise. Anyway, they forked him up.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what Tianjin's famous for.
It is.
Right.
You know what time it is?
Look at that. It's actually 4 minutes past.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the hats. Do they work if you just kind of hold on to them? Yes.
They do. Why wouldn't they?
Okay, I'll stop that. Right, so we're... Is that a rabbit in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? So we're going to give away...
Let's get ready to jot a name down.
Yes.
Oh, they need to spam.
They need to spam. What are they going to spam?
Your favorite name for a cute rabbit.
Okay.
What would you call this hat if you had it?
These things are ridiculous. All right, so if you had a rabbit, what would you name it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so these are pretty fucking funny. They are available. If you don't win today, you can actually go over to Mysterious, and I have put them up there. And I thought my description of them was
Good
pretty
description.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
I thought it was pretty all right. And it also has this video of a Chinese girl.
It's immensely cute, but there's no volume controls, and I think it's pretty loud.
It's really loud. It's almost as loud as that explosion in Tianjin. So yeah, anyway, they are over there, and you can get one, and it'll make you look like this cute Chinese girl here. Yeah, exactly. So
all right,
you guys all know how this works.
Roll it.
Nightbot is going to choose a winner. Tika W.
Tika W.
All right, Tika W, you have won a pair of fluffy fart-filled rabbit ears, and you will need to send an email to mysterious@americanmcgee.com. Include your mailing address, your phone number, and make mention of the fact that you have won some rabbit ears. And please, for the love of God, format all of that in a way that makes it easy for me to copy and paste it into the mailing label. If you make it difficult, if I have to look up where you live, then no, you will not get your prize.
Smooshy, Booshy, Malushi, super chats. Speaking of white rabbits, have you guys tried the white rabbit candy?
I assume she's referring to the Chinese stuff.
I guess.
The answer is yes. We've
Quite
also
nice.
we've talked about that on the stream before.
Yep.
So thank you, Smooshy Sushi, for the super chat. And yes, we have eaten the white rabbit candy.
We have.
There
It's
you go.
lovely.
All right.
Sticks in your teeth a bit, though.
But congratulations again to Tika W for winning your very own fart-filled.
And it looks like
Bouncy
they're going to
ear.
call theirs Bunny Fufu.
There you go. Congratulations. Mysterious@americanmcgee.com. Send all your deets, and we will get you a rabbit hat. All right, so on to less cute things. So of all the art she's done so far, I have to say the pin. I'm assuming this is a pin cushion.
I think so.
The pin cushion rat is the thing that has probably disturbed me the most.
Because you have a fear of pin cushions.
No, more because it seems to kind of be torture of a living animal thing. I mean, it's like actually just a rat. You know, where this is a bat with a doll's head on it, I can accept that it's sort of made up. It's not real.
Right.
Whereas this is just a rat that someone's stuck a bunch of pins in, and I feel, this is going to sound odd, but I feel like it's a bit cruel and unusual.
Did you feel that when Pickle Rick killed all the rats?
No, they kind of had it coming.
All right. This
Yeah,
one
they
may
were
have
being
been a real
dicks.
dick. Maybe this
Yeah.
one had it coming.
Maybe.
Pro Truth Anti-Media super chats. Thank you for that. The cliche baby doll monsters and the cutscenes that broke away from the droning atmosphere every fight kept Madness Returns from doing justice to the original game. I'm going to assume OG stands for.
Original
Please.
gangster.
Yeah. Also, please bring back Chris Vrenna.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Pro Truth Anti-Media, thank you for the super chat. And as far as Chris Vrenna goes, we have said he will be coming back. And in fact, we are going to probably have him on the show. We'll have him here, and we'll have a chat about what he's going to do for the new game. So yeah, he's already
Not
signed up.
here.
Well, I mean, just
via
on the
Discord
show.
or something.
Exactly. But he is going to come back and help us with the music on the new game.
Wow.
As far as the cliche baby doll monsters and cutscenes that broke away from the droning atmosphere every fight, yeah, I mean, there are clearly lots of things we could do to improve on Madness Returns. And as far as the cliche baby doll monsters, I mean, we probably are going to have baby doll monsters. I think most people seem to like those.
I think so.
But the cutscenes that broke away from the droning atmosphere every fight, I don't recall that we had that many cutscenes cutting away from the game. I mean, there were a few. But point taken, we will reduce cutscenes, and well, I mean, the baby dolls you're just going to have to deal with, because everybody seems to like the baby dolls. We'll see. Next up, this is not actually, I mean, this isn't like art. This is art, but it's not really part of the review. These are the little mini posters that we've been making. So you can go over to Mysterious and pick these up. Right now, what is it? This one? This is the Cheshire Cat mini print.
This is the one that's on
sale.
sale.
Yeah, I think you can go to Mysterious and get that right now. Anyway, I don't know why that picture is in there, but there it is. What are all these things in here for? Oh, I know.
You put them there.
This was because we're doing the Patreon special this month.
Ooh, should we talk about that now?
Go for it.
All right. So, over on Patreon, for those of you that don't know, we have various tiers that you could support us at. If you are at $75 and above, you usually get one full-size poster a month. It's whatever the poster is that month. It's usually awesome. And there you go. However, because I noticed we've been doing Patreon for about 12 months now.
That's a year.
Maybe a little over, but 12 months of this like Alice push. So, and with Halloween coming up, I thought it might be an idea to do something a little special. So, for this 1 month only, at $75 and above, it's going to be 2 prints that you get. It will be the full-size red, black and white Cheshire and the full-size red, black and white Queen. That's fantastic.
And if it's your first month, you also get, what's that?
Chaos necklace.
A chaos necklace. Woo!
So yeah, for $75, you're getting close to $200-ish worth of stuff.
Wow, amazing.
I guess.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our Patreon deal, Halloween special.
Go. Okay.
There you
If you
go.
like stuff, there you go. And all that would arrive in time for Christmas, so you could potentially give one poster to someone you love and keep all the other stuff for yourself.
More super chats. Ray Weatherford is back. Thank you, Ray. Did you by chance check out the Otherland game website I shared a while ago? I was the one that saw that, and I kind of remember it being sent, but I don't remember the details exactly. We get a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I kind of remember you sending something.
I recall it being sent, but I've not had time to check anything out.
Sorry.
So thank you for the super chat, though. And then Aaron Jimenez. Hello.
Greetings from Mexico.
Greetings from Mexico.
I
Hola.
like Alice's games.
Muy bueno.
Short and sweet.
There you go. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
There is Ice Killer, the $5 super chat.
This month is also my first anniversary of continuous support for American on Patreon.
Wow.
I might consider the special deal.
Crazy.
Consider it.
Do.
We've always said, if you can't support at a certain level, don't. We don't want anyone to starve or miss paying their rent or anything. Do what you can.
Yeah, don't starve.
Yeah. But thank you for all the support, Mr. Killer.
Very kind. And Mr. Killer also has been helping out with community and other things.
Yes, over on Discord, so say hi if
Yeah.
you see him there.
Right, so continuing along, art review. Omri is working on a new sort of main poster image, and this is of Alice in the Asylum. This is Alice in the Asylum, Martin, not Joey.
Doesn't look like Joey. I'm not sure I would have made that mistake here.
Well, she has had her head shaved, so it might be. But she's there. She's got her little white rabbit. We are working on a white rabbit.
Yeah.
And she is, of course, surrounded by nurses and doctors and whatnot.
Is this any different from the last time we saw it?
I feel like it's got bits of new detail. Does it not?
I just remember the other one also being reasonably detailed, so I'm not sure what changes might have happened. I just wondered if you knew off the top of your head.
Yeah. I'm not really. I think it's a bit about. It's a little clearer. It's got a little more stuff in it.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, it's sort of a combination of orderlies and nurses and doctors, and of course, there's that damn cat that started the fire in the first game. And there's Alice with her head shaved. I did notice someone write a comment that said, "Why is her head shaved? I don't understand. Is it because she's going to get a lobotomy?" And I thought, yes.
Right.
I thought that was pretty clear. But yeah, in the game, we do represent her with shaved head. and the meaning of that is she's off to get a lobotomy. That is sort of the threat that awaits her. That's her fate, is that nothing else can save her, so let's scoop out some of her brains. Yeah, that'll teach her. So yeah, this is Omri's latest, turning out quite nicely. And
it is.
He's
should
also
do that one as a poster.
That I think will become a poster. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that super chat that went past.
Let's do it.
Alice on Elm Street again. Did you listen to the music I sent you from the haunted house? The ones using Alice soundtracks. Was that sent to someone specifically, or was it just up on the Discord new music channel?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff going on Discord that we are shamefully not up to date with.
Yeah. As many of you know, I was gone for 2 weeks, and during that time I was quite busy. I did not have a chance to really keep up with Discord, and since I've come back, it's been a bit of a madhouse, just trying to get caught up and get everything under control again. So if you're sending stuff and you're not getting a response or not listening to it, whatever, that might be why. That is Martin running off with the doorbell, because I think all of the art prints have just arrived. Lots of art. So yeah, this is another image from Omri, and he wanted me to point out that the base image of this is from someone on Twitter, an artist with the handle of Hampetos. I don't know what that is exactly, but anyway, he did say that he has permission from that artist to use the base for his repainting. And so he is working on a new poster image. This, of course, is the Queen with the face of the Hatter, and then more and more faces kind of going back in infinity. And he's got Alice here wearing what we refer to as the denial dress, and of course surrounded by tentacles. I'm a big fan of tentacles and Alice, and so I'm glad to see a poster like this coming to life. Of course, Omri has been doing some pretty impressive characters, the dresses, and recently working on some enemies, and so very glad to have him on board. But yeah, if you are watching or listening, you can comment on his work there. This was another tentacle inspired thing. Of course, we have the same image here. Now this is a big one. This is something we're referring to as Shadow Alice.
Okay.
And Shadow Alice is going to play a very big role in the new game.
Okay. And I'm still catching up.
All right.
I feel I've missed something while I was upstairs.
We were just talking about you,
Were you
Martin.
bad-mouthing me?
I was. What was that? Was it posters or tubes?
It was posters.
Posters.
But there was no guy there. It's like he didn't want paying for delivery.
That's weird.
Did we miss any super chats before this one?
No, just
okay.
that.
Alice on Elm Street. Back again. Yeah. It was for the email when I sent my address for the mug. That's when they sent you the music. So I wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I must have just kind of gone past it.
That was probably just before you went on holiday as well.
Yeah. A lot of times when we're doing the prize sending, we're actually quite rushed to get everything packed up and sent out. So it's not like the best place to stick recommendations and hope that I'll see them. We are oftentimes very pressed for time.
Yeah, we're not slack on purpose.
Okay.
012590 super chats. Thank you very much. I think any feature not game changing should be optional, so the player can mod the game cosmetically for their preference. That's a popular thing in games these days. You know, costume changes and graphical effects.
Yep.
Film grain, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a thing.
Well, we did kind of talk about there being a bit of a fashion simulator in the new Alice, being able to stick like the embroidered patches and stuff. We've got tons of these getting made. So being able to put a patch onto your dress, and then by doing that, it unlocks some sort of a power up. That's not gonna work.
Zero also continues with another super chat, just following on, so it can be there for the ones who want it and switch it off for the ones who don't.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider now that I'm done with Spider-Man, and they have like numerous outfits in there, leather jacket or Siberian or wilderness or whatever,
right?
But they've also put the character models in from the original Tomb Raiders, so you can actually play as polygonal, pointy-boobed Lara in this like HD fancy wilderness now.
That's a great idea.
We should do that with Alice.
That's really fun.
Put sort of like the Alice 1 model into Alice Asylum.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So yeah, cosmetic changes I'm a big fan of, so why not?
Yep. I'm waiting for you. There's a super
Another
chat
one.
there.
I thought that was a previous one.
Nope.
Stitching Witch. Thank you for that. Electric shock therapy might also be an option to erase memory concerning continuity in games and reset characters. It could be something at the end of the game that sort of helps it feed in to the original Alice.
We did talk about this, and I think this is on the whole conversation about continuity. We do want to try to be as sort of true to the narrative through line as possible, and I would like us to avoid the idea that, say, like, we got all the way to the end of this new game, and then somebody flips a switch and says, "'Twas just a dream," and it was like, no, we could do that. We could have her go off and go through an entire adventure and solve everything, and she could even defeat Bumby in her imagination, or uncover the fact that Bumby, was the bad guy, and then have somebody come along and go and turn it all off.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going there. I mean, and by the way, that was sort of the Wolverine story, right? And he got the bullet to the head, and it scrambled
the adamantium bullet to the head.
Well, and it scrambled his Wolver brains, and then when he came back, he was sort of lost very specific memories, but not like the memory of how to wipe his butt or not poop in his pants.
At least he lost the memory of the original attempt at Deadpool.
Yes, that too. But he still knew how to drive a motorcycle. So, I mean, it was like all of the manly things, chopping wood, driving a motorcycle, being buff, that all stayed, but somehow the memory of the love of his life, gone. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
How convenient for a movie.
Yes, that was a little too convenient. All right.
Let's go back to Octo Alice.
Tinto Alice. Alice in Tinto Land. So what we've been talking about with regards to Shadow Alice is that we will probably be set off on a mission in the game early on to defeat X. Let's say that X is the Jabberwock. We've been told that naughty Jabberwock is fucking up Wonderland, or maybe, the Hatter blew up something like Tianjin, and so we're sent off to a confrontation with a bad guy, and we're getting ready for that. But as we go through the game, we notice that everyone's kind of pissed off at us. All the characters that we thought we knew and loved are angry. They seem to think we've just done something to their area, to them, that makes them want revenge. And I think, after time, we start to uncover that, wait a second, that's not us. There's a Shadow Alice stalking us, or that we're following in her footsteps. And so she's running ahead of us, pissing everyone off. And so everyone's angry at us because they think we're her, or she's us.
Yeah.
And so the ultimate showdown at the end of the game, what we're thinking is you have to face off against your shadow. And so this is the representation Omri has done of Shadow Alice. And of course, she's got tentacles.
Tentacles make everything better.
Just under the skin, just poking out, is a bit of tentacles. Is that a tentacle in your pocket, or are you just
just my evil shadow?
There you go.
Joaquin Olsen, thank you for the super chat. Maybe if we beat the game or get achievements with detrimental patches on, we can earn the ability to wear power-up patches. Yeah, I like good achievements. I don't just like achievements that are finish level 1, finish level 2. I like it where you have to do stuff.
I agree, and I think we'll want to build that in there and do it right.
Yep.
I do like this. We're still working on this whole patch. There's a second set of patches. You have the first set over there. So those of you that have been following along know we are working on these embroidered patches. Like this is the Salve et Coagula patch. And then, of course, we got Jennifer, who's in the chat there, did up, that's the Flaming Flamingo. Sans Hedgehog. There was a hedgehog.
Sans Hedgehog.
And, of course, this is a kind of, it's very 3D. I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually a bit of texture that pops off of that. And I think that, here, let's do here. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so these are turning out really cool, but I think the idea that you're able to collect these in the game, there it goes, and then stick them on your dress, like fashion editor style, could be really cool. Yes, they give you new abilities, and this was the first set.
Still got a bunch of those on Mysterious.
You mean for sale?
For sale, yeah.
Yeah. I just found a little handheld sewing machine. It's basically like a hand-powered sewing machine that I think would be useful for sewing those things onto whatever you're sewing them onto your tentacles.
Let's click the old chat. Let's get that up to date again. Here we go.
There we go. All right. So back to art review. The idea also came up that Lizzie, this is obviously Alice's older sister, is playing a kind of role. Perhaps she is the trickster. She is the Shadow Alice.
Lizzie is the Shadow Alice.
So we're still kind of messing around with this. So this is one of those things. We'll post this up on the wiki, and then once that discussion tab opens up, you can go there and you can write up your thoughts about Shadow Alice as our primary enemy, about the integration of the Shadow Self as the main goal, and how this serves to help Alice with her attempts at solving her PTSD, overcoming the trauma of the fire, and then using that to move forward to the next game.
Okay. Zero is back. 012590. How about an achievement hidden in a mirror room? That's one of those maybe, why not sort of answers. It's a bit early to know what kind of rooms there'll be, but hidden achievements for sure.
Yeah, we like hidden achievements and mirror rooms. I mean, we did start off the stream with a giant mirror room.
Mirrors.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah.
Not a problem. We'll figure it out.
We will.
Right, so we also had a bit of art. This was a funny one. Alex, who usually is the guy who's doing, like, he does product design type stuff and logos, and he did, for instance, all of the construction of the bits and elements for Out of the Woods, the card game, the book, the box, and he's taken a stab here, literally, at a thing that he referred to as a scraper. And when he wrote this up, there's actually quite a bit of a description, and I've pasted that up over in the most recent Patreon post.
Right.
But this would be an enemy that Alice faces off against, and that she may face off in those moments where she's very vulnerable. Like, she doesn't have the ability to attack, and so she has to, in the dark, avoid these guys by sort of sneaking and running and sneaking and running. So Alex wrote up a nice bit of lore, a kind of game mechanic description for them, and he provided a nice illustration to go along with them.
So it's kind of like the Pyramid Head character from Silent Hill.
There you
It's
go.
kind of like the one that you're not really supposed to fight. You're just supposed to survive.
Just stay the hell away from it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Ice Killer, super chat says, thank you. What about a trophy room or a museum for collectibles? I like to admire my achievements in a room.
Okay.
Trying to think if anything I played recently has done that, but yeah, I like being able to see and rotate stuff you get.
Where would you put your floppy eared? You can you can hear the farts. All right, you know what time it is.
It is that time. What should they spam with?
Where are you going to wear your rabbit hat that's going to freak people out the most?
It's the most inappropriate time that you could wear a rabbit hat.
Like during a
funeral or
divorce,
something?
like a divorce hearing, like, Your Honor, I caught her with the milkman. Ah. Where else would be a terrible place to wear this? At a funeral.
Funeral.
Everybody's crying over the death of poor old dad, and you're just like, no? Is it no? It's actually a fairly fine degree of control with these. I didn't realize this, but you can actually sort of,
If you do it too slow, you kind of lose pressure and it doesn't go all the way up.
That's what she said.
There you go.
All
School
right.
test, museum, in class, funeral,
Church.
morgue.
Oh, no. I think the real question is, where wouldn't you wear these? I mean, you could just wear them everywhere. This actually would be a great thing for us as foreigners in China, because we get the foreigner stare. This happens. If you live here and you're a foreigner, you realize that Chinese people, oftentimes, they've never seen a foreigner. They've never seen a white-skinned person. So when I get them staring at me, I oftentimes like stick my tongue out at them or cross my eyes or something. But I think this would be really great. Like they start staring at you, and then you're just like, "Huh? What? Me?" I don't know. That would be.
Anyway,
Here we go.
that's been enough
Courtney
spam.
Hill.
Courtney Hill.
Courtney Hill, you have. Huh? You've won your own rabbit ears. So please email to mysterious@americanmcgee.com and make sure to include your phone number and your mailing address. And please do all that in a format which is easy for me to interpret and stick into a mailing label.
Please do. Or in fact, just please say something to show that you've won. So we can see you haven't written anything yet.
Well, she'll figure it out. So, Courtney, you won. You've got your own rabbit hat on the way to you. mysterious@americanmcgee.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all this rabbit stuff, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? There's actually a method, a meaning to the madness, and that is that we're going to produce an actual rabbit that is the same shape and size as the one you see Alice holding in the artwork in the game. And yeah, it's going to be a thing.
I guess the sort of, not production, but the moving forwards on this kind of slowed a little over the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Matt is still on top of this, is he?
Yeah, we should be seeing a production sample of the White Rabbit probably today or early next week.
Hope it comes today while I'm here. I'd like to see that.
That would be cool. But yeah, we are going to make these White Rabbits, and then they will be up as a kind of reward for patrons at a certain level. And then as we did with the Chaos Coin, and then we're also going to have them up over on Mysterious. So yeah, some progress being made on that.
Smooshy shooshy. Super chats again. Thank you. You guys are definitely enjoying those bunny hats.
I have to say they really are ridiculously fun.
And they're actually really comfy.
They're warm and they're comfy. This is true. This is very true.
Yeah. Did you get any more? Or is it just 4 in the office?
There's only 4 here right now, but
man.
more can be had.
Might have to get one.
You will have to get one. We'll get you one. That basically brings us to the end of art review. And so I think before we jump into playing Little Nightmares, we ought to do a shout out to our sponsors.
Freaky Fandoms.
Mm-hmm.
They sent an email earlier, didn't they?
They did.
Do you remember what it said?
It said that they're doing a month of October special where every day they're calling out favorite movies. So it's a sort of 60 days of Halloween. And so they're talking about all of the movies that they love the most. Horror movies, of course.
Of course.
And so if you follow them on Twitter or Facebook, you will have seen that each and every day there is a new movie being mentioned and talked about. So the 8 movies that they're watching so far, they've watched things like Urban Legend, Hack-O-Lantern, Chud.
Chud 2.
Chud 2, Bud the Chud. Do you remember?
The Monster Club.
That's
Monster such Club. A shonky movie.
Yes. Halloween 3. So there's quite a few horror movies that they're watching and they're talking about over on their podcast. So Freaky Fandoms is our largest sponsor. And if you could go and check out their podcasts or go check out them over on Patreon, you supporting them is just like supporting us. It's by proxy.
Similar. Support us by proxy.
Probably fewer bunny ears involved. But so they do some really cool stuff. They do interviews with artists like Chet Zar and Mike Corell, and they also review movies, games, anything that's kind of freaky.
Yes, hence the name. Freaky Fandoms.
Anyway, links are in the description below. Please do go give Andrew and Deborah a listen and lend them some of your support.
Yes. The other sponsor guy got back in touch with us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure how we would promote. He doesn't really have anything to promote, but he said he is a big supporter of the USO.
Okay.
Not sure what we're going to do with that.
Did he have any suggestions for what we're supposed to do with that?
No, but there is an email. Well, there's a message in our Patreon. We should read that later. See what he said specifically.
But when you refer to the USO, I'm assuming this is the thing that supports servicemen and women in the United States. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, we do have a sponsor. He is unnamed, but he himself supports the USO, which is an organization which supports America's military, women and men. So I suppose you could go over to USO website, USO.org, and you could throw some support at them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll read that Patreon message later.
Let's do that.
Dig some more detail out of it.
But apparently your support is going to help 4.9 million service members and their families.
All right.
That's good.
Excellent.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
You want to support people. There's people to support. Right.
Blade Siskodoll also super chats. Thank you very much. I want one of those mirrors to be a secret room where you'll find a ridiculously huge Lulu staring into your soul. I think one of those mirrors should be a secret something. If you on the Joey picture.
Oh, right.
And if you can sort of like figure out how to get up to like whichever one is the most ridiculously hard to get to,
then
you actually do go into it and find something.
You unlock something special.
Yeah.
Could do.
Good idea. Secret mirror.
Idea. Good one, Blade. Thank you for that suggestion. Looks like we have David Dixon also.
Yes. Lulu must be an Easter egg rendered in the game, preferably in a bunny ear hat. Lulu will be in the game. Surely. For
sure she will be. It actually kind of had me thinking with these bunny ear hats, would it be a travesty if we stuck one on Alice? So imagine that she's following the white rabbit. It doesn't have to be this kind of silly...
Like chibi Japan style.
No, but imagine she's following the white rabbit, and in order to disguise herself, because again, she's sneaking around, so it'd sort of be like Metal Gear where you put a box on yourself, but instead of a box, she disguises herself as a white rabbit. So she just dons the hat, and maybe a dress to go along with it.
There was the rabbit ear cosplay that dressed last time, wasn't there?
That is the lucky. I forget when that was called. Anyway, so yeah, that could be a thing.
So there's a precedent. For
there is a
rabbit
precedent.
ears.
Yeah. And as far as sort of Lulu stuff goes, we are actually working on an embroidered patch that's a Lulu patch. So if you do get this, it'll only come to you via being a patron when these patches are done and we hit that goal.
That is the special 10th patron only patch.
Exactly.
Right.
But this is the new set of patches that are in production right now, and we should have delivered to us relatively soon. So we need to hit that goal.
It's quite slow going on that goal, but we've not really been pushing the advertising. We're still kind of easing back into it after the coin.
Yep.
The coin thing was exhausting.
It was exhausting. So we're not in a big hurry, not a big push.
012590 super chats just to simply ask Lulu companion.
So I don't think so, because Lulu is a Boston Terrier, and as the name suggests, Boston Terriers originated in Boston, and the idea that a little Victorian girl in London might have a Boston Terrier as a companion, a little odd. Not impossible, but a little odd.
The dress was called Late But Lucky.
Late But Lucky, that's the one. There you go. So yeah, anyway, that brings us to the end of Art Review, and of course what that means is that it is time to answer your Patreon questions and comments while I flail about in Little Nightmares.
Now, what we should actually say is that before we came online, we did notice that by running the game, the OBS streaming software was starting to chug somewhat.
It was having a difficult time.
So now that we've opened the game again, we have fingers crossed that there's going to be no terrible issues.
We'll see.
We
what
will
happens.
see.
Yeah.
I checked out the graphics card, by the way. It's aging now. It's low level.
Well,
the GTX 650 for those of you who are interested.
It might be time to upgrade this PC.
Maybe.
There you go. If you want this PC upgraded, throw some money in the super chats.
That should be the next Patreon goal.
Isn't that how the YouTubers do it? My frame rate is crap. Throw money in the super chats.
You do need a new graphics card, though. That is well down on power these days.
Yes, sir. We'll do it right away, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are back into Little Nightmares. Okay,
That's some sort of record.
Just warming up. Just warming up.
Really?
For the falling. What? This is why they came here. This is why they're here. They're not here to watch me be successful, and they want to see me fall to my death.
All right. So here we are. Got questions and suggestions from Patreon. Let's knock these out. Right. These are from the latest post. Chance Houston. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
There you go. Let's move on.
That's it. You're done. This is one of those phrases that I feel the world would be better without. It's sort of like, well, to be honest, or please correct me if I'm wrong, or, well, if I was telling the truth. It's like, what? Why do you have to start off with that? You should just tell the truth. And anyway, go ahead. Let's correct him.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
But a recurring theme in these games is finishing what you started, correct? So maybe with the insect-like dolls, once you completely break them down, you have to kill the bug.
Okay, I'm going to say it again. You're wrong. Because the idea that a recurring theme in the games is finishing what you started is a bit, dare I say, silly. I think that a recurring theme in all sort of games, books, movies is finishing. How do you catch those things? The little gnomes. Anyway, I have to say, I think I feel like I've been here before. I think that is a theme in all games, that we finish what we start. I don't think it's a theme that's very specific to or particular to Alice. Is it? Am I wrong? Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that's a theme that's particular to the Alice games. Okay. But the idea here is that you've got to do something to sort of get rid of the enemies, the insects. Is that right?
Yeah, it's sort of like there's an insect in the doll.
Yeah. Well, we've mentioned this, right? We've said this before. We said it today that perhaps at the heart of every enemy there is there's a thing you gotta finish off, and so I'm fine with that. I think that's fine. But you're still wrong.
Lucas Severin super chatted during that. There seems to be a lot of Lulus in my life. Lulu, American's dog. Lulu, the living doll in Japan. Lulu, the girl who steals your eyes. You know of them? I know of the dog one.
I don't know of the Lulus, the other Lulus. No. What
Lulu,
I do know that I
living
think
doll.
is what I do think is strange though is that I got my dog and I named her Lulu, and after that, I just did something. I broke something and I got a special sound. That was amazing. Look, I got toilet paper. This toilet paper is way too big for me to wipe my butt, though.
I need TP for my bumhole.
I must make impressively large poops if I need toilet paper this size. Anyway, I got my dog. I named her Lulu, and then, ouch. And then, it turns out that my grandmother's dog at some point was Lulu that I didn't know. And so I named my dog the same thing my grandmother named her dog. She had a Lulu, and I never knew that.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So here, Sweetie Puff the Pug says the person that disliked this is heartless. We've got a dislike again already.
It's
Emma Watson.
It's Emma Watson.
Every video.
Yeah, she comes around and she dislikes every video.
Joaquin Olsen. I saw the question, what is a 13-year-old girl afraid of? The first thing that came to me was strange men. This is both true, especially for young pretty women in the Victorian era, and conveniently fits the plot of the series.
Yeah, I like this.
Mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, we mentioned this earlier. I saw that comment and I liked it. So yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think the idea that Alice would be scared of men, adults in general, perhaps, but 13-year-old girl, lots of things to be afraid of, and one of those things could be men. So let's see how it goes.
Alice on Elm Street super chatting us again. Thank you. Where is the best place to send you game ideas off stream?
Those are, you want to do that on Patreon. They need to go into the public, right? It's not something that we're asking for people to like email me game ideas. You understand that would open up a flood of stuff and there would be no one to manage it. So what I'd like is that you go and you put that stuff in to the Wiki. That's why we want you to become patrons, because it acts as sort of like a gate to make it so we're not just flooded with tons and tons and tons of ideas from people all over the internet.
Apparently, if you want to catch the gnomes, you go up to them and press the grab button.
That's all good and fine, except for the fact that they run away before I can catch them.
Well, you know what they say. Get good.
Get good. Go home. Yeah, I know. I'm not good. Is this another person dead hanging from the rafters?
It's their trousers.
They could signpost this by having like a puddle of pee on the floor below him. That would be better, maybe, or worse.
Ina suggests, this is, the Bold Asylum Alice image. I think more can be done to accentuate Alice in this image and increase the sense of falling down into the image when you look at it, by making the whites on the clothes of the people around her darker and perhaps a wee bit blurry.
Okay.
Well, it's possible. If Omri's listening, or even saw this suggestion, maybe it will happen.
Sounds good.
Maybe. Anna Lepper. Oh, this is one for Alex. So we can't speak for Alex, but says, was the Scrapper inspired a little bit by Edward Scissorhands?
Scraper.
Sorry.
There does seem to be quite a lot of Edward Scissorhands stuff going on, because today we saw Bobby McForkfoot,
Bobby McForkfoot.
And then also the scraper was sort of like a knife-legged thing.
And it kind of reminds me of there was a comedy show in England called the Mary Whitehouse Experience.
Right.
And they did like a joke of like different types of Edward Scissorhands. They had like Edward Cullender hands, and they had Edward Good Movie Guide knob.
That's good.
I used to like that. Showing my age though, that's quite a long time ago. Just having a quick look up at the chat, see if I've missed anything interesting.
Are those Ku Klux Klan people on the paintings there? Look, they're wearing bags on their pointy bags on their heads. Is this game a secret dog whistle to white nationalists? Maybe something's going on here though. What am I supposed to do with this key?
Unlock something with it.
I'm just really into throwing her around on the ground.
This is a question for the Halloween offer post we did from Katie Kennedy. If I pledge $75 for the Chaos coin in August, then lowered my pledge for September, and then rage again, and then raise again to 75 for October,
That's great.
will I be eligible for the second month portion of this deal? Basically, if you're at 75 now, and you get charged 75 or above at the beginning of November, which is the next billing cycle, you will get 2 posters. It's that simple.
I'm constantly amazed by the incredible creativity that our fans put into complicating things which we believe are otherwise not terribly complicated.
The amount of FAQs and do these specific steps that we did for the Chaos coin, and we still got loads of questions.
I feel like the Chaos coin was in some ways a bit confusing, but the thing that is not confusing is the current offer, the offer regarding the posters. There's literally nothing to do, and people still, it's great.
Saying go to the wall to the right.
Okay.
Maybe take the key with you. I don't know.
Okay.
Push the wall.
Push the wall. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
This was from the. I've written it down as the Octopus Queen post. I guess it's the one with the red octopus that we just looked at.
Right.
Chance Houston again. Maybe if she is a trickster and born from the trauma of fire, she looks similar to Alice or Lizzie, but always shrouded in smoke. We never get a good look at her until the end. It said trickster on that image. Is the trickster a separate enemy?
Well, the trickster is what Omri sort of labeled the shadow Alice. It's basically saying that the shadow personality, if you look at sort of the Jungian archetypes, the shadow personality is referred to as the trickster.
Right.
And then, of course, the trickster in many cultures would be like, say, for instance, the white rabbit. The rabbit is also known as the trickster. So there's a bunch of layering of potential meaning around the shadow self, around Alice initially following the rabbit and then later on discovering that she's following her shadow self, so forth and so on. I think the idea that sort of the shadow self remains fogged in mystery for any sort of long period of time, I don't know sort of how long that would go on. It might, obviously we want to go on for a while, but we don't want it to be forever, right? We want to reveal that and not wait all the way until the end of the game to reveal that, would be my point.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. Oh no, Martin, it's an elevator.
Oh no.
Can we get on?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You gonna tell them why I'm saying that?
No.
Okay.
This one's fine. It's quite big. It's quite open.
The floor is all creaky.
That's fine.
Sounds like these boards could break at any moment.
Yeah, some people, you've already gone past that. Throw the monkey at the button. Yeah, you did that. Here's one from Mad Kate. I personally prefer the concept of the Shadow to be a lookalike Alice as her main form. Perhaps she has the ability to change into other characters temporarily, like Lizzie, as a means of torturing our protagonist. Shapeshifter.
Could be.
Could be. It's one of those maybes.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
She's having a tough time here. She's fallen down. I think she looks acting kind of drunk.
It's quite a big ship you're on.
Yeah, it is. Not sure I agree with their sort of, what the hell? I'm coughing now. Is she drunk and smoking and
Maybe smoking.
not right here. No, this thing is she sick? Maybe she's dying of something. Is that the whole like premise of this game? I don't know. Oh, this is that hunger problem. I think she's hungry. Can we eat a rat?
Eat the monkey.
That was for throwing, not eating. But clearly, we are in need of food. I remember this from before.
Find some then.
Trying.
It's that easy. Gregory Parabek.
What's
My
up, Greg?
one issue with Shadow Alice having tentacles is that, at least to me, they are emblematic of the Red Queen. And as a suggestion, I think someone as potentially important to the story as the new villain deserves their own visual style and language, distinct from pre-existing villains.
Well, but remember that we are in the pre-existing time, and so one of the suggestions that I saw was, am I going to eat this?
Eat that.
I think I'm going to eat this. Am I going to end up in a cage for eating this?
No.
I feel like that was the whole point here. Alright, I'm about to eat this, and then
Creepy ass
the
noise.
door is going to close, and I'm going to be stuck in a cage, right? I'm trying to leave, but it won't let me. I'm sort of in a cutscene. Oh, I knew it.
Oh no!
Fuck's sake. Alright, just in time for a contest. What do you think?
It is. Look
It
at
is.
Look at the time.
Time flies when you're having
When you're doing
nightmares.
contests. I'm going to take these off for a bit. Oh, I've got hot ears again.
Well, you need to put a rabbit ear on though, because
Yeah,
I'm too
okay.
tall. They can't actually see the rabbit ear on my head. So, what's the question for the spam?
Who looks cuter?
Don't put that to them.
No? Okay.
It's too late now. You've already done it. By the way, the politically correct answer to that question is Lulu.
Who?
Lulu.
Okay.
What?
Do.
They really-
Do.
Lulu, what's going on? The dog's coming over. She's like, "What the f are you guys doing? Why are you guys,
Attention.
what is it? What is that? What is
Sir,
that? You
yes,
want to say
sir.
hi? Yeah. Okay. It's a contest right now. We've asked
Lulu?
them
What-
who's cuter.
What's happening?
All right. So you've got your choice between Martin, Lulu, and American as to who's cuter. What you doing there? Yeah. You got anything to tell the people? You want to say something to the internets? What if they've got treats for you? Treats.
I like it. This one kind of looks like a salute.
It's great. I love it. Lulu. Somebody said give a hat to Lulu, but actually I did try to put a hat on Lulu, and
Can you imagine she
they're too
wasn't
big.
having any of that, was she?
No, she's pretty good with stuff on her head. So I've trained her
Oh, the fact
very
that
well.
these have
But
tubes in, you can't really.
yeah, they don't really fit on Lulu very well. So there you go. It looks like Lulu's winning the competition here.
Quite
by the way.
rightly.
Mm-hmm. Bite. Get him, Lulu.
I
Bite him on
think
the
that's
face.
enough spamming.
That's enough spamming. All right.
Let's let Nightbot do its thing.
Here we go, everybody. Time for Nira.
Ooh,
Woohoo! There you go, Nira.
Nira
Congratulations.
K. Well
Now,
done.
Nira's been around long enough to know exactly what to do, but I will repeat it. That is to send an email to mysterious@americanmcgee.com and be sure to include your mailing address and your phone number and mention that you won the Lulu, they can hear you licking me. Mention that you won the rabbit hat.
Please do.
There you go. Congratulations, Nira.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Be nuts. suggests, I like the idea of Lizzie ruling Wonderland peacefully before something corrupts her and starts turning Wonderland into the warped zone from American McGee's Alice. No longer so much a refuge for Alice from the bad things in the real world. Could that be a thing in canon?
Can be.
Lizzie ruling Wonderland.
Yeah, it's I feel like when we encounter characters in Wonderland, say the Mad Hatter, I can understand that the Mad Hatter is a representation, psychological representation of some aspect of Alice's psyche, whether it be the id, the ego, the superego. It could be a representation of an emotion, anger, guilt, rage. But when we talk about putting representations of the real world characters, family members, whatnot, into Wonderland, I think things get a little tricky. I don't mind seeing, I think we don't mind seeing a representation of a memory, of a recollection of a character. But having someone like Lizzie take the form of a full-on enemy, I think we're going to have to think about that a bit. There is something to be said for Lizzie being a representation of Alice's transformation into, say, womanhood. That, you know, the older sister, representing the mystery or the... Did that thing just move by itself? Representing sort of the mystery or the horror, the wonder that might surround Alice's journey through puberty into adolescence. For that, you know, I think Lizzie makes a pretty good proxy.
Okay.
For that kind of enemy, but beyond that, I'm not 100% convinced just yet. Oh man, come on. I think I didn't press the run button quite fast enough.
Okay.
So anyway, we'll see. Let's continue. I know, Lizzie obviously has a representation now. We have drawn up an image of sort of Lizzie as a level or as a malevolent actor. I'm just not completely sold on it yet.
Okay.
Something for the discussion page over on the wiki.
Sorry. Greg suggested that we didn't actually get to the end of his thing about having a distinct visual style, so not having red tentacles on the villain in Asylum. What was the end result of that particular comment? Did we get to the end of that?
Well, what I was saying was there is an origin for the tentacles, and because we are going back in time, one of the ideas that was actually put out there is that the battle results in the kind of the creation of the formation of the queens as we know them later on in the games, and so that the tentacles are kind of precursor to that. Now we haven't obviously fully fleshed out that idea yet, but I don't think we're going to just completely discard the tentacles.
Okay.
I don't know.
Run! God.
Fuck's sake. I'm terrible at this game.
So there you go, Greg. It's
Well, it's an interesting one, Greg, because also you're one of the few, maybe only people who's suggested that, you know, they want less tentacle. Everybody seems really in love with tentacles. So I don't know, man. Let's again, that might be a good one for the discussion page over on the wiki.
Woo-hoo. Right. Joachim Olsen again. Maybe a Lizzie-themed detrimental force in Wonderland could be something that's foreshadowed in the early parts of the game and culminates later as the chaos storm that throws the two kingdoms into turmoil. Bye,
Well, keep in mind that the chaos storm, the sort of inciting incident, will start the game of Asylum. I mean, we're going to see the chaos come along and destroy Wonderland and kind of rend it asunder. It's going to break everything. So I don't know that having the chaos, whatever the representation, I don't know that we're going to kind of hold off on displaying it until much later in the game.
Okay. Right, moving on. This was from the old scary Lizzie post, where she was all black and tentacles. What were they, like ink ribbons or something?
Yeah, she was actually done up as sort of a as a level. She was sort of a level unto herself.
Ooh, okay. Callum Nightingale. This Lizzie boss looks interesting and full of potential. Maybe Alice has to climb up the monster, like Shadow of the Colossus, where there is a huge monster with spots to inflict damage. I would also happily have the little family portrait in my house.
Look at that thing. Look at that.
My god.
It's got really long arms.
It looks like Steely from Interdimensional TV.
He looks really messed up. Is this the guy that closed us into the cage? I'm guessing that it is.
Maybe.
What's he bandaging up there?
Long arms.
He does have long arms.
He's
put something in a cocoon there. I'm guessing we don't want to be caught by him. Is that?
I wouldn't
right?
want to be caught by him.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So he's taking children out of the cages. Is he blind? I'm hoping he's blind.
Got ears though.
Oh, he can hear. That's not good. That's not good at all. Should I go hide in here?
Yeah, why not?
It seems like a really stupid idea, to be honest with you. I don't know why I'm in here.
Be very quiet.
I feel like I made a mistake.
I'm hunting wabbits.
Yeah. He's good though.
Yes, Callum. I really enjoy Shadow of the Colossus. A giant enemy that you have to climb all over and stab and stuff and inflict damage on to kill.
That was brilliant. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you can see me, so let me light up my cigarette lighter now. Hello.
Walk.
Don't
run.
No, that was, well, I mean, I needed to get eaten by him at least once. Now,
at least once.
I think as an enemy goes, this is a great idea. First of all, the fact that there's just the one, and he sort of occupies a space that you have to get through. Second of all, the idea that, I mean, apparently he's blind, so, you know, it's this sort of sound thing is great. I like that. And then that he's, does he sniff as well?
You can smell the K-pop farts on your rabbit hat.
Shit. They're really stinky. I feel like I'm doing poorly here.
Go slow, don't run. Use the analog sticks to good effect.
Run, boy, run. No. We'll see.
Yeah.
So this is good though. This is sort of sneaking, right? And we've talked quite a bit about basically Alice having this same dynamic. She doesn't have an attack, and she's defenseless, and she has to sneak around wherever she goes. So this is a pretty good sort of analog, I think, to the type of thing we're thinking about. Now the question is this fun?
Is it?
It's intense, you know. It's a tense thing. But to be honest with you, I think, you know, we are sort of programmed to want to attack.
Yeah.
You want to be able to shoot at these guys. So don't know. Now he's still clearly in some sort of searching mode.
Apparently, you know, tiptoe and stick to the rugs as much as you can.
I see.
Allegedly.
Those are the rugs. Now, is there a tiptoe button?
Just move the stick very slightly, I guess, instead of all the way.
That's what she said. So I'm gonna leave the rug. Oh, come on, F's sake. That was the floor. That wasn't me.
Okay, let's see if you're safe.
Does he reach in there?
What? Is there a sneak button?
No.
Or is it just move the stick slightly?
Who knows? It's great. Stay silent. Yeah, thanks. Duh. I think we figured that part out. Stay silent. I don't think there's a sneak button.
Crouch, perhaps. Can you crawl?
This.
Oh, maybe do that.
All right, I'm doing that.
Yeah. Crouch to tiptoe.
I don't think it's gonna stop this this board from creaking though. Watch. See?
Yeah, but now if you keep going, he won't know where you've gone.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe this.
See, he didn't go straight to you.
This is true. He didn't.
025894180 super chats. Will Alice have ranged weapons?
Yes, we've shown those off.
There you go. Simple.
We have shown off the various weapons. Okay. Back in the cage. We've shown off lots of weapons that could be used at range. So the answer to that, Zero, thank you for the super chat, is yes, definitive. I can't imagine our Alice games. Apparently he needs to see a chiropractor. I cannot imagine the Alice games without her having a pretty serious arsenal. All right, I'm just running for it. Oh, come on!
You panic. What'd you panic for?
He was already on to me.
I think you stay crouched.
You want to try?
Got my job.
All right. Well, then stick to your job and don't tell me how to play the game.
Gregory Parabek back again.
How's your junk, Greg?
I'm sure it's good. How is it? I think this whole response counts as a suggestion. Okay. Love the idea of Shadow Alice as the enemy behind it all, and wonder if perhaps she would dispatch Hysteria Rage and the 7-year-old Chains and Fire Alice as sub-bosses to fight Alice, who would have to defeat each of these darker aspects of her nature to master them.
Okay.
We've discussed that before, haven't we?
You're going to have to read that again. I was busy getting eaten.
Shadow Alice basically unleashes Hysteria, Rage, and other versions of Alice as sub-bosses that you defeat and then master their abilities.
Okay.
But we have talked about that, haven't
we have talked about that, yeah. And I think,
maybe not coming from Shadow Alice, but certainly beating things to take their abilities.
Yeah, I think the idea of her sort of facing off against various aspects of the self, I like a lot, and we have talked about that before. We have talked about her being able to... I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the whole sneaking past the guy with the long arms section of the game.
Try bunny hopping from rug to rug.
Really? I've got a... What? What is bunny hopping? Like that?
Maybe.
Seems to make a lot of noise.
Salah says, can the Queen of Hearts have a main plot where she's weak early on, but taking on Lizzie's figure, giving her powers for some plot reason?
Sure.
For some plot reason.
All right.
Again, that's one of those maybes.
It's a maybe.
Why not?
There's a lot of maybes going on here
There
today.
is.
Yep.
If people ask stuff that's a little too specific.
This is true.
Alice on Elm Street super chats to say, wait until he's making noise to walk on the boards.
All right. We'll try.
There you go.
I think he's back in sort of search mode, though. So we gotta wait.
I guess.
All right. Well, thank you, Alice on Elm Street, for the $2 super chat. Don't suck suggestion. I'll try.
Try your best. What? Oh, this is from Brandy Cavazos. What if, as you progress through the game, once in a while, Alice would merge with her Shadow Alice to become more powerful? Again, it's kind of a similar thing that we've talked about, you know, taking powers or being one with a baddie or something.
Well, this is the... come on. I mean, it's just like immediately there's a... Oh, come on, get in there.
Jeez, Rick.
Jeez, Rick. I almost broke the stick off the controller.
Taylor Goen super chat says, a very large super chat.
Wow, Jesus.
Thank you
Taylor,
very much.
Thank you.
Oh, geez, Taylor.
Oh, geez, Taylor.
So yeah, thank you. Hey, I wanted to say thank you for the patches, and I thought I'd return the generosity. Drinks on me. Or maybe a start to the new graphics card. Maybe. Probably, because your GTX 650 is so old now, you could probably at least double or triple the power of that for relatively little money.
We're gonna have to sit down and figure this out.
I could look into that.
Let's do it.
I'm quite good at PC.
Let's PC it up. Bump.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently I'm supposed to wait until he makes noise. Now I'm waiting, and he's gonna take one of these kids out, and then he's gonna... That didn't work. Who said that? Whose idea was that? That's a terrible idea. It didn't work at all.
Run now.
What do you mean run?
He's gonna get you. He knows where you are.
No, he doesn't. This has been the thing all along. He's... Alright,
Get in the hole.
I'm trying, Rick. Get in the hole. Oh, fuck. Jesus. God, that was horrible.
Fuck Jesus.
I don't know. I'm just...
You heard it here first, kids.
Ah, boy. Okay, that was really stressful. I need a drink, but it's too early in the morning.
What time is it? 11:15. Maybe a little early for margaritas.
I feel like it is.
Be nuts. If the secret goal is to get Alice and Shadow... That's loud.
Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Did you know that was going to happen?
I've never seen the game before in my life.
If it... Oh, don't make me... Oh, God. Did we have to play this? Hey, have you guys seen this new necklace?
Are you giving up?
No, I'm just taking a break.
Okay.
I just want to show off.
Okay,
We actually
take a break for this.
Look. This is
did we?
This is the new necklace. Right? Focus. These are based on the it looks broken. It's busted. These are based on the keys from the Madness Returns, and so they are little alchemy keys, and there's going to be a set of these of 5, and they're going to come in a box with 2 chains, different sizes, and that camera seems very unhappy. And then you'll be able to go over to Mysterious. And
did
buy
they
them.
crash the stream to avoid little nightmares?
No, we wouldn't have done that. Did it really? Did it break?
It's OBS is doing its naughty thing.
Yes, they did. Oh boy. Anyway, so gave me a moment to take a break there.
Yeah, sorry if it looked like the stream crashed or anything, but for some unknown reason, when the game is running now,
OBS is not happy.
throws a fit.
Yeah.
Which is weird because literally nothing has changed on the PC since the last time we were doing these streams.
Yeah, it's weird.
So there you go. Where did I get to? Let's just have a look at the old chat first.
No.
Anyway.
Someone said, I got my Chaos coin here in New Zealand. Had Dad saying it's probably a scam. I told him he'd be disappointed if he knew how much money I've put towards it. Zero regrets.
What does he think is a scam? That you wouldn't have actually ever got the item, or what? What part of it is a scam according to your dad?
Maybe that the thing would ever arrive.
Maybe.
Yeah, could be. Who knows?
What did I get to?
We're pretty good about sending stuff out, though. I mean, you think about, like, on a given month, we're now having to send, hundreds of posters to people around the world.
A lot of posters this month. Not as many as last month, but still a lot.
Yeah.
Ice Killer is asking, after a super chat, thank you, can there be a keychain version of those keys? It's just going to be a necklace? Will there be a keychain version?
Hey, don't come in here. What the fuck? Leave me alone. I just want to hide and do the thing. Is he in here now?
He's going to come in here.
I think he's... I hate him. I hate him so much. His stupid long arms.
Somebody says kill the long arm.
How?
I don't know.
That'd be great. We need a gun.
Maybe we could lower the trapdoor on him when he reaches in. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Anyway, will there be a keychain version, or is it just necklace?
There can be different versions. I think I saw somebody asking for. Is that it? Am I free of him? Watch this arm come down the hole.
There's going to be an arm's going to come down and get you.
Do it, arm. Come down the hole. You know you want to. All right. Anyway, I think for the alchemy keys, we will probably do a variety of things. We're going to start off with the necklace and see. Up. Yep. See? He's going to. I know he's going to stick his arms down the hole. Yeah, anyway, so we're probably going to do a bunch of different stuff. Yeah. There you go.
Right. Third time at trying to get this suggestion read out. If the secret goal is to get Alice and Shadow Alice to work together and accept one another as two parts of the same being, what if at different points in the game we alternated between playing Alice and Shadow Alice without the game explicitly stating that this is what is happening?
Yeah, I think I saw that comment, and that's a thing. It could happen. You know, switching back and forth between the two. I don't know, you know, if you switched and the game didn't tell you, and there was nothing significantly different about the playing style of the two different Alices, how would you know, and why would it matter? If they're essentially the same and you have no way of telling the two apart, why would it matter?
Maybe in one of them, the aim of the particular level is to do something dickish to the people of Wonderland.
Well, I mean, the point I'm making, though, is the suggestion the person has made is it's a change that happens, B-nuts. It's a change that happens without us telling the player that it's happened. Okay. If that's the case, it would seem to imply that the point is we don't know that the change has happened, and we wouldn't have a way of knowing it. Does that make sense? If you're making a point to hide it from the player, I mean, I can understand. Look, my objection here is if we're going to do this, we might as well tell the player that it's happened. That's all. Right. That's the only point I'm making.
All right.
And if you do that, then yeah, I think it's a fine idea. There's, you know, imagine there's a red Alice and there's a black Alice, and red Alice has different sort of abilities versus black Alice. And can I like pick up one of these shoes and throw it to cause a distraction? No. So anyway, yeah.
With a jump. Get as far as you can without touching the ground.
Is that a suggestion from the comments?
That's a suggestion from me.
You know, that's what I did last time and I died.
Oh,
right?
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm kind of curious. Like, I can do the same thing twice, and I'm sure I'll just die again.
Just do it more better. Jump now! Jump now! Jump
It's not
now.
working, dude. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Your screaming at me definitely helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My suggestion of getting better.
Get
the
better.
thing that did it.
Right.
Right. Okay. Again, I mention this each time we do this, but Sterling Treadwell has written something far too big to mention. But due to the epic size of what he writes, I think it's just worth mentioning. Because, you know, why not? I mean, it was paragraphs after paragraphs. So, you know, point it out to people.
Yeah, I mean, can I save here? Exit to main menu. Exit to desktop. I suggest we go over and have a look on Patreon, because I did see that comment and it was so epic that I think it bears, it's worth pulling it up. Was it on this one, right? It was on the You Don't Know Your Own Mind.
I believe it was on the Scary Lizzie one.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, you know, B Nuts has got a pretty big one going on there as well.
One, isn't it?
I think this is why we need the discussion tab opened up on. I mean, look, Ina has a pretty massive one. So we need the discussion tab opened up on. There's another wall.
Joachim Olsen, that one? Is it? Yeah.
Yes. So we need the discussion tab opened up on the wiki, because it's not that we don't like these larger form suggestions and the ideas flowing in. We do. I think the problem we have is that this is not the best place to collect these things because, we'll have to at some point scroll back and we'll have to collect these and we'll have to put the things into the Asylum Wiki. And until we do that, I'm afraid this stuff is... Where did it go?
Patreon.
No, the Wiki. I thought we had the Wiki up. Rabbit ears. Anyway, you get my point. My point is we ought to have...
it's on that one. The dolls thing. I think.
Huh? This? Oh, that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. We ought to have the discussion tab open, and then all of that can get dumped in there, and then we can have it saved for all time, and we can review stuff, and then when something makes sense, we'll pull it forward from the discussion area and paste it into the actual part of the wiki where it makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, so there you go. And yeah, don't apologize for your long comments. As B-Nuts says, long comments are the point. We do need this design process to have a home, though, where it can live and where all these comments can be pasted in and then sorted through, and then we can decide what goes in and what doesn't. And that's what this is going to be all about. This is what the wiki is about.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the long comments, but I do have to edit down somewhat.
But I think the point that Font Lord is trying to make is that it makes it difficult for us. We can't necessarily read through them all, especially when it's a giant wall of text. I think this is not the format for reading all that. We are talking about setting up a second stream, and it may be something that's powered by Discord, and that would be a weekly design discussion, and that would be the perfect place to do this.
It's coming together.
It's getting there.
You need to fix the rules of that particular room on Discord, though.
Yeah. So we are fixing that up, and as soon as Discord plus the wiki, all the functionality is in place, then we will look at launching a second stream or a Discord group session every week. And that is going to be with the goal of getting all these design ideas into the design.
Yes.
Do you still have comments to read?
Got two more.
Okay.
Let's blast through them.
Let's do that.
Got here from Tori. So with bringing up the aspect of change and how people deal with it, as well as how Alice will have her freedom to an extent of shadow, since everyone she loves is gone, I was curious if there's any thought of how she may deal with the people in the asylum who abuse her. I guess probably she wouldn't be doing that in this game, would she?
Well, the only real reference we've ever made to abuse by people in the asylum is that of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who were the orderlies that it is strongly suggested have tried things with Alice, not successfully. And so, yeah, we're going to bring them back as representations. And I think that as far as her doing something to them, getting revenge on them, it's just the typical, like, stabbing them or shooting them in the face with a deck of cards. So, yeah, I think she can have her revenge and eat it, too.
And finally, from NW. I've seen some ideas tossed around in regards to Lizzie, but I feel a good angle would come from sibling resentment. I'm sure any younger sibling or one with a successful sibling feels resentment over their situation if the sibling is doing so much better than they are.
Yeah, well, we briefly touched on this a few minutes ago where I said that I think a good source of angst or sort of anxiety about the transition into adolescence might come from initially the loss of the sister as sort of a sibling on a similar level. As that sister moves into adulthood, the connection is perhaps strained, and of course then it can also represent to Alice the unknown, that's the place she's going to be going, and maybe she doesn't like the way it looks. So there's a lot of energy built up there that we can perhaps leverage.
Faux show.
Oh, sure. Why don't we prepare for our last giveaway of the day?
Let's.
And got to spam the comments.
Oh, Blade Siskadol quickly super chats to ask if Roger Jackson is coming on the stream soon.
Yes, Roger and Chris are both wanting to come on the stream. There was a delay in that because I traveled. So now that I'm back, and I should be back for a little while, we can try to get those two on.
Yeah,
we will figure it out. All right, so it is time for you to spam the chat. You could do that. You could do that by, I don't know, is it, which of these is your favorite patch?
Favorite new patch? I think we've already done that.
Well,
we'll do it again.
We'll do it again. So which is your favorite patch? Spam the chat. Let us know.
Flaming Alice.
Now, while you're doing that, we did have one sort of general question that's coming up, and that is, have we heard anything from EA? And so that question is around the fact that we've put a presentation in front of EA that suggests we'd like to exploit the Alice license for the sake of a new game and new merchandise and all the kinds of things that go along with that. And it is now middle of October. We did say that we would have this in front of EA by October, and that we'd hope for some sort of an answer. So the answer to that question, are we talking, or have we heard from EA? The answer is yes, we are talking to EA, and unfortunately I have to be quite cagey because I've been explicitly told by my contact there not to talk about or reveal the contents of the current conversation. It has to do with Alice. I don't think I can say anything more than that without getting in trouble. I'd really like to push the boundaries and to try to say something more. But he actually wrote in the email very explicitly, do not talk about this on any of your social media or live streams. I mean, he called it all out. He was like, don't do it. don't say anything. So
best to leave it there.
Yeah, we need to respect that. So back to the original question. Are we talking to EA? Have we heard anything from EA? The general answer is yes. I will say that things feel very positive right now. I think I can say that without getting in trouble. There are things happening. There are things happening. So hopefully soon we will be able to give you more of an answer than that. But that is the answer for right now. I love the noise. It would be funnier if they actually made little fart noises, though. All right. Here we go. We're going to roll it. And, it's a person with a rabbit, too. It's Senior Coelho. Senior Coelho. All right. Congratulations, Senior Coelho. You actually... That's what I just said. You have actually won a rabbit hat. So you'll need to email mysterious@americanmcgee.com, include your mailing address, make sure to have your phone number, and do all that in a format which makes it very easy for me to copy and paste your info into a mailing label. If you make it difficult, you will not receive your prize. So please make it easy for me.
Please do.
There's a ton of other stuff going on. We ought to talk about Pirate Jam, updates with products going into Mysterious, lots of stuff going on over on Patreon. We are, of course, running
Out of the Woods. There's tons of stuff going on. There is a goal that is active on Patreon right now that is to unlock the next set of patches. Yes.
So if you're not a patron, please become a patron for as little as
$10 for the patches.
Yeah, but they could subscribe and become a patron today for like $1 a month, and then sit around and wait for the patches, and then put in $10 and then get those out and then run away.
Yes. We need the patron number to be 3222. That's the goal.
This is
and
right.
It's crawling up quite slowly currently, so
jump
get in there.
Help us hit that goal so we can unlock those patches. And then, of course, the next goal after that is going to be for the White Rabbit plush inflatable doll, which is why we're doing all this rabbity stuff. I don't know.
I hope that comes today. I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Well, that does bring us to the end of today's stream, so thank you very much for joining us. And sorry that I suck so bad at playing Little Nightmares. I will try to get better before the next time we see you. That will be next week.
Yeah, please do get better.
Same time? Should we do a European stream next week?
Same bat time, same bat channel. I don't know.
We'll think about it. You guys let us know if we ought to do a European stream. If you're watching this from the EU, and you'd like to see a European stream next week, leave some comments down below. And don't forget to hit subscribe, hit like, and do all those other YouTube-y things that YouTube ignores anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Farewell.
See you later.
See you later.